day. My name is Lee Lamela and I am here to make another film review about the film Senior Year by Gerald Tarog. It is the sequel to the short film named Faculty, which also the director has done in the past year. Now, this feature film is actually a full-length film. This film is about the senior years in high school. It basically depicts the different archetypes of the different high school students, the typical Filipino high school students here in our country. So it centers around 10 characters, the 10 students, which are Henry, Sophia, Solen, Bridget, Briggs, Carlo, Stephanie, Bunda, Chito, and Mitch. So each of these 10 characters actually represent a specific archetype. For example, one represents Henry. Like Henry represents the nerdy type, the valedictorian. Mitch represents the rebel girl, the one who bickers around all day about things and life. And Solan, the typical socialite, social climber girl in high school. And Bridget Briggs, the couples type. So the story, basically, it is about the struggles, the lives, and the immaturities of being high school. The movie gives a very natural feel about it. So the plot is about it starts out with Henry in his future version, actually 10 or 80 years in the future, and approximately 10 years, something like that. So the film starts out with him having a dilemma with himself in the car if he will go down and join the high school reunion. So again, the film is about the high school experience. So it flashes back to their high school years, these 10 characters. So it starts with an act called Future Tense. And then with a tagline 4 months before graduation. So this part is when most of the characters are introduced and the plot develops. The plot is starting to thicken here. As each of them get into each of their own dilemmas 4 months in before graduation. Then the story progresses as the 10 characters solve their different problems, their different dilemmas, their dramas. Basically it gives you a refreshing feeling of what high school life was, and it brings you back to memory lane. So the next act is called Big Puzzle, Little Puzzle. It is 3 months before the graduation, and most of the characters are starting to embroil themselves into some sort of issue with their parents, with graduation, with their studies, with different bullying, social peer pressure. So, and most of them are preparing for the intramurals, which is what we all know in high school is somehow a big deal here in the Philippines. So again, the film adapts a style that flashes back to their future selves, and then flashes back again to their high school years. Mostly for just a short bit, they flash towards the future versions of themselves. Specifically, the future versions of Carlo, Mitch, Henry, and Sophia. So, and then the plot precedes the intramurals itself, which is actually the climax. Most of the conflicts, the fights happen here. Things break out between friends, and then finally it's the changes. This is 2 months before graduation. The act is entitled Changes, where a lot of things are changing within the batch, the high school. So it's a great climax for the story. And then finally comes March. March, actually there's a pun intended there, like March is the date and also March is the time wherein they march for graduation. So after this, they saw you can see how they depict themselves graduating, the fun, the feeling of finally graduating high school, and then the epic graduation ball that they had. So basically, it contained a very good feel to it, a good story. We're now gonna discuss the lighting, the sound, the acting, and the cinematography. So Basically, the cinematography has a fresh style to it, a distinct shots, good mix of fresh and innovative skills. We can see that the director Gerald Tyrell is both young and yet he is a student of the game, as I can say. Like he's learned his craft, but he employs a very fresh style to it. So that's all I can say about the cinematography. Now moving on to the sound, lighting. So both of those aspects really fit in well with the theme, which is a bit natural sounds, natural lighting. Most of those are employed, so it actually complements the acting, which is the actors are actually audition students by the school. So the school that the film studio used is actually a real school, and they actually hired some of the students within of the school, which is Elizabeth Seton, the school that they used to shoot the plays that they shoot. So those I really commend the acting for the students because they were very natural. They were good. There's nothing I can say negative about those students. Well, now for the future versions of themselves, well, they're renowned actors. They're good actors. So there's nothing much I can say about those. So that's about everything I can say about senior year, and I think Gerald Tyrell makes an ode to everything our high school lives represented. So I recommend that you watch this film. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5, being fresh, independent, and something that is truly Filipino. It showed what the Filipino high school experience was, the drama and everything. The stories are all very familiar. And the fact that most of the cast members are real high school students and at a real high school, so the footage are actual footage of the school activities. So you can really remind yourself, like you reminisce the good old days. So again, that was Senior Year by Gerald Taro. This is Lila Mela. Thanks for watching this review.